Hello everyone and welcome to another Top 5 Records video. This week, Ozzy Osbourne will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And that led to a friend of mine saying, well, wasn't he already in the Hall of Fame with Black Sabbath? And I mean, obviously he's there with Black Sabbath, but what is his relevance outside of Black Sabbath? Now, I started a very long story, and that long story I'm gonna cut short with a top 5 of Ozzy Osbourne albums. 5 reasons why Ozzy Osbourne deserves to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist. And I'm gonna kick this list off with a number 5. Ozzy's first two albums were heavily influenced, and the presence of Randy Rhoads is there. Then Randy Rhoads died during a horrible plane crash. And Ozzy Osbourne had to continue without Randy Rhoads. So he had to continue without Randy Rhoads, without Tony Iommi and entire Black Sabbath. So the question was, what would remain? First thing, And this was the first album, Bark at the Moon. And Bark at the Moon shows you that Ozzy Osbourne, even with his usual collaborators around, although Daisley is still here, he can make something really fun. I'd like you to have a look at the cover because Ozzy is flirting with madness and craziness all around, but this makeup, the look in his eyes, the teeth, also the back cover. Is this man making, well, at least on this album, serious metal, or is he mainly goofing around and having fun? Despite what you think of serious metal or whatever, I think he is just having fun here. Also, the influence of synthesizers is interesting. Now, Ozzy Osbourne having fun is really fun. Bark at the Moon is an interesting, lovely album on number 5. Bark at the Moon. And there's also some controversy here because, well, Osbourne's career has been flooded with controversy, but I believe it was the song "Bark at the Moon" that somebody played at midnight, and the guy who played it then walked out and thought that the song made him want to cut someone, so he killed someone on the streets at midnight after. Uh, I just named it. Controversy, weird makeup, yet Osbourne is interesting on Bark at the Moon on number 5. On number 4, I'm going to hold a CD. It's unusual for me on this channel. I do it from time to time, but this is really something from the CD era. Ozzy's album, No More Tears. Now, again, the influence of his contributors, collaborators, is interesting in the world of Ozzy Osbourne. Yet this really marks a different moment for Ozzy Osbourne. This is his 90s um, mark. Yeah, let's call it the mark he made in the 90s. Now, I can put two I can hold up two brilliant tracks from this album, but the entirety is just spectacular. His sound is smoother, his voice is almost more sincerely dark, and there is a lot of playful musical elements going on. It's dark, but it's also very intelligent. There are two songs here co-written by Lemmy Kilminster from Motorhead. I hope I pronounced that right, Kilminster. Let's have a look. It's Zach Wilde is here on here playing guitar. I mean, that's brilliant. Yeah, mostly it's just Lemmy. Everybody refers to him as Lemmy. Lemmy wrote, co-wrote. I Don't Want to Change the World, which is an incredible song, one of the best Ozzy songs. And immediately after I Don't Want to Change the World, you have Mama, I'm Coming Home. Perhaps his best ballad, together with Dreamer. This album seriously rocks, and Ozzy Osbourne is at the center of 90s metal with incredible incredible musicians around him. Yet his core, his voice, it remains. I really enjoyed it. This is a very good album. No More Tears on number 4. Number 3, we're getting into Randy Rhoads territory here. Thing is, if you gotta talk about the power of Ozzy Osbourne, I think that when in the late 1979, when he had left Black Sabbath, he left the Beatles of metal music. I mean, the first 5 albums of Black Sabbath are purely insane. Yet there is a Black Sabbath without Ozzy Osbourne. There is a brilliant Black Sabbath without Ozzy Osbourne. The Ronnie James Dio years, which came at the same time as Ozzy Osbourne's solo years. There is also an Ozzy Osbourne without Black Sabbath. And in the early 80s, he reinvented heavy metal. Compare a Black Sabbath album to an Ozzy Osbourne album, and you can just hear that he exchanged the Riffmeister from Black Sabbath, Tony Iommi, for a brilliant guitar virtuoso in Randy Rhoads, a very young Randy Rhoads. If you put this on, Diary of a Madman, you hear somebody who is in complete control of his instrument. His solos have more to do with classical music, or perhaps with Eddie Van Halen, but I mean, the comparison with Eddie Van Halen at that moment, an early Eddie Van Halen, an early Randy Rhoads, these guys have fun, virtuoso, incredible melodies. And Randy Rhoads is just so furious. He so understands the core of a song. This album, opening with Over the Mountain, which is a banger, and closing with the epic Diary of a Madman. Randy Rhoads is not beyond control because he seemed to be out of control, but he is in control. Not only the guitar here, Osbourne's vocals are, again, very good. He is very convincing, but these drums, oh man, these drums, they rock. On number 3, Diary of a Madman. On number 2, I'm gonna put in a live album because this is just mesmerizing. After Randy Rhoads passing away, Ozzy Osbourne, of course, recorded "Speak of the Devil." A very good live album, in my opinion, with Black Sabbath covers. Randy Rhoads refused to be on that. They were talking about doing that, and the plane crash happened. Now there is a gorgeous recording of Ozzy Osbourne and Randy Rhoads together. And later on, I believe in 1987, they released this live album, Tribute. This is incredible. Seriously, this is so good. It has so many impeccable moments. The way Randy Rhoads owns Crazy Train, Mr. Crowley, Suicide Solution. There are sides you just cannot put on and finish listening to. For example, side 3, which starts with Suicide Solution with guitar solo. Then Iron Man, Children of the Grave, Paranoid. Listening to this, you hear a band at their peak of their games, accessing new territories in heavy metal, in a new genre, in the early 80s. And it's so exciting, it's so fresh, it's so new, it's so daring, it's so young, it's so vibrant. It is an incredible live album, and I'm gonna put it also in my next top 50 of best live albums, because this is a moment in time, and if you haven't listened to it, please do, because it's incredible. On number 2, Tribute. On number 1, I think everyone knows what I'm gonna put on number 1 now. Blizzard of Oz. Blizzard of Oz is the first Ozzy Osbourne solo album, actually to the surprise of the band members, because Blizzard of Oz would actually have been the name of the band that these 4 guys formed late 1979, and under which they started writing and recording, because this is, some say, an equal group effort. Some people say that Lee Kerslake, the drummer, and Randy Rhoads were basically the main songwriters, perhaps with Bob Daisley there, and Ozzy Osbourne did do some writing, but it's all a little vague where the credit goes. The thing is, despite who wrote it, this is a band reinventing heavy metal music and collaborating to the sound of where heavy metal was going, as much as like Van Halen did, with darkness, with humor, also with cheer. I mean, they're really having fun here. And this album has so many incredible songs. Suicide Solution, another controversial song by Ozzy Osbourne, a young teenager committed suicide listening to the song, and Ozzy Osbourne actually got a lawsuit because they said it was a wrong influence. I believe Ozzy Osbourne won. Very good song, though, you know. Crazy Train, a landmark in Ozzy Osbourne's career, and Mr. Crowley, perhaps my favorite Ozzy Osbourne song. Just the sound of this, the impact, it is a masterpiece. The Blizzard of Us on number one. So I'm curious, what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave a comment below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.